I have always believed in science, in facts, in vitals, in lab reports. I believed in protocols and timelines, in the predictable rhythms of a clinical day. But this one case, this one patient taught me that medicine is not the only thing keeping people alive. It started with the code blue. A young woman in her early 30s was rushed in after collapsing at home. No known illnesses, no warning signs. She had suffered a massive brain hemorrhage. By the time she arrived, she was unconscious, pupils unequal, BP crashing. We moved fast intubation. 4 lines, fluids. The neurosurgeons were on their way. Her husband arrived, clutching their toddler in his arms, confusion and terror written all over his face. I remember him asking me, "She just fainted." She was making breakfast. She said she had a headache. "Is she going to be okay?" And I couldn't answer. In truth, none of us thought she would survive the night. The bleed was too extensive. Her GCS score was 3. We prepped her for emergency surgery, not because we believed it would save her, but because it was the only option we had left. As she was wheeled to the operating room, her husband gently placed a tiny bracelet in her hand. "It's our daughter's. Please don't let her go without it." The surgery took hours. Her condition remained critical. Days passed. She didn't wake up. We rotated shifts, cleaned her, suctioned her tube, adjusted meds. Every test showed the same, minimal brain activity. The team started discussing the possibility of withdrawal. I dreaded that moment. There was something in her face, a calmness that didn't look like dying, and her husband never stopped hoping. Every day he'd sit beside her, reading stories aloud, playing their favorite songs, telling her about the weather, their child's drawings, the neighbors asking for her. It had been almost 2 weeks when I walked in on my night shift, expecting the usual silence. But the monitor was beeping, slightly, differently. I glanced at her, and then I froze. Her fingers twitched, tiny, subtle, but deliberate. I thought I imagined it. I stood by her side, spoke softly, "Lily, if you can hear me, squeeze my hand." She didn't, but a tear slipped from the corner of her eye. That night, her pupils began to react. She moved her head, barely. The next day, she opened her eyes. Doctors were baffled. The neurologist shook his head and said, "There's no medical explanation for this kind of recovery after that extent of damage." But there she was, conscious, weak, confused, but alive. Her recovery wasn't instant. She spent weeks in rehab, but eventually she walked out of our hospital, holding her daughter's hand. A few months later, we got a letter. A photo was enclosed, Isla, her husband, and their little girl, smiling whole. The note simply said, "Thank you for believing in her, when science did not." I cried, because the truth is, I didn't believe at first. But her body, her spirit, her family's love, they kept going, even when medicine said it was over. And that changed something in me. Learning lessons for healthcare workers. 1. Never assume. Our tools are powerful, but they don't know everything. 2. The human will to live sometimes outpaces what science can explain. 3. Families who show up, speak love, and bring hope are part of the treatment to learning lessons for medical and nursing students. 1. Learn to trust your instincts as well as your training. 2. Recovery is not always linear, and prognosis is not always prophecy. 3. Be present even when it feels hopeless. Miracles don't announce themselves. Learning lessons for the public. 1. Don't stop speaking to your loved ones, even if they're unconscious. 2. Your voice, your touch, your presence. It can reach places even medicine can't. 3. Never underestimate the power of prayer, love, and hope. Closing reflection. I still don't know how she made it. Science shrugged. Protocols paused. But somehow, against all odds, she came back. And because of her, I believe a little more. In healing beyond numbers. In strength beyond data. In miracles. This is Silent Scrubs, where we share the hidden stories of hospital life. Please subscribe and share.